Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I appreciate you coming over and tuning in. Today is going to be another T-Mobile home internet video. I have had T-Mobile home internet since around October of 2020, so it's been right at a year and a half right now. And if you've been following any of my T-Mobile home internet videos, you know that the last month or so I've been having some reboot problems, that the internet would work fine, and then I'd have to reboot constantly to get the internet to work. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about today, and my whole experience so far with T-Mobile home internet. So you guys stick around. So a year and a half, I think that's a pretty good time frame to have hung on to T-Mobile home internet. We've had it since the beginning, through all of the tower upgrades, upgrading the 4G LTE and the 5G signals and stuff like that, through all of the firmware and the software upgrades, the ups and downs. And I think if you haven't watched any of my latest videos, where the last month or two, we had a bunch of reboot issues where it would show that we have internet, but it wouldn't connect. Something was going on. I don't know if it was the Wi-Fi or whatever. And I'll post a link up there, guys. Check the last one out with the reboots and stuff. But that last little glitch probably about done me in for T-Mobile. We were almost searching around for another internet provider. I think the problem was the firmware. I have it right here and I'll show you. Alright guys, I've got a screenshot up here from a video that I done around March of this year, 2022. And you can see the firmware version I have there. You can see it. The firmware version is 1.2103.00.0338. And I'm thinking that's around the time whenever they push this firmware, the software version, I think that's when I started having the problems with my reboot. And I've been trying to keep up with the software versions, and I thought in some of my past videos that I was showing my software version, but in an attempt to cover up, the important information and stuff, I've covered up the software. But in this particular video, I didn't cover up the software from March. So you can see the software version 1.2103. Now, let's go look at what software version I have currently. Alright, here we are. I've got it pulled up, and you can see that the software version is 1.2104.00.0286. I don't know when this software version was pushed onto my machine, but as you can tell by the running time, 2 days, 14 hours, and 55 minutes since my last reboot. Now, that's pretty good, because the last month and a half, almost 2 months at the end of February. Of course, I've got a new machine since then that they sent me. I had to reboot the gateway at least 4 to 5 times a day. And the weird thing about it was, when I pull it up like this, you can see it says that the internet's connected and the gateway's online, and we have signal. But it just wouldn't do anything. It was very, very slow or non-existent at all. And I'm thinking it was probably the firmware or the software push that they were doing. I'm not sure how many was in between that one that I just showed and this one. But as of right now, like I said, almost 3 days has gone by without a reboot. I know at the end of October of 2021, when I was starting to get that secondary signal, when they pushed another software update, I guess, when my speed started picking up, it worked from October all the way up until, I guess, that end of February. So that many months it was working great, and it didn't have nothing to do with my signal. My numbers have always been pretty consistent. I'll show those right now. As you can see right here, my primary signal, I've only got 2 bars of signal. I've always had that. And we'll go down here, and you can see signal to noise is 3. It ranges anywhere from like 3 to 9. Sometimes I'll get a 10 or 12. But it's actually pretty good. That's the primary signal. And the secondary signal is around 6 right now, this morning. So that's pretty good. Now let's go look at the status. And right here you can see I'm on band B66. And the secondary signal is on band N71. And I found most of my faster speeds on band B2 and the secondary signal being on band N41. But let's take a quick speed test just to see what's going on right now at this very moment. And we'll start off with the Google speed test. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. And that's been pretty consistent for the last 2 or 3 days there like that. I've been getting anywhere from around 60, 70 all the way up to 200 and something. So, but it's been pretty consistent being around that 70 something. So I'm really happy with that. And the upload speed has varied anywhere between the 6, 7, 8, and even I had like 25, 30, I think it was last night. So it depends on what bands. And the bad thing is about the T-Mobile home internet gateway is you can't lock the bands. You can't pick which bands you want to use. It changes automatically. I mean, you can reboot it and it connect to the ones you want, but later on it changes automatically. So you get what you get there, but you can, if you're getting slower speeds, you can reboot it or turn the power switch on and off real fast, and it might connect to the faster bands. You can always try that. It never hurts to try. But I want an internet where I don't have to reboot it every 5 seconds. That was getting kind of old, and I almost switched. Let's do one more speed test here on speedtest.net. I like to do this one every once in a while. Shows the ping and everything. Let's see what kind of ping. We're getting a 52 ping. And I've been getting around the last few days, probably the last 2 or 3 days I've noticed, I've had anywhere from like 20, 21 to 25, 30, and 50 and 60, I think it was last night. And today's 52, so I had a really low ping the other day. But that's really only relevant if you're like gaming or anything like that. It doesn't really affect regular internet browsing or anything like that, really. So there we go. Well, you can see right here that my secondary signal actually boosted up to 3 bars right there. Let's do a refresh on that. How about that? Let's do another speed test real fast while it's like that. Let's see if anything's changed.
Still about the same. And I have noticed too, guys and gals, anybody that's watching, and I have noticed too, everyone, that we can see that the upload speed has improved quite a bit.
That's pretty good. And guys too, I've noticed too, there's periods of time where you just get uninterrupted internet, everything's running as smooth as it can be, and I guess they force software updates, firmware updates or whatever, and that does something, and they figure out that it's messing something up, so they have to push another software version. So I've really hung in there with this one for sure. I really like T-Mobile because of the price. You cannot beat $50 a month with no equipment fees and no hidden fees, or there will never be any price hikes or anything like that. So you just can't beat $50 a month for when it's consistent internet. So it looks like as time goes by and the technology changes a little bit, they have to tweak stuff here and there to make it work correctly, to make it work consistent. So April 29th, 2022, still going strong with T-Mobile Home Internet. Keep staying tuned for the updates. I'll do another update before too long. This has been a year and a half, and I would recommend T-Mobile to just about anybody looking for a decent price, consistent, fast internet. I know a lot of companies out there are starting to try to compete with T-Mobile. Verizon out there for sure. I almost called Verizon the other day, and so I could try theirs out. I went on their website just to see. With mine being so bad, I went on there, and it's not available in my area. The Verizon isn't, so go figure that. Well, that's the update I have right now, so keep an eye on your software versions. I would definitely recommend that. Just write them down, the date that you notice them, and when you start having problems, you can see that it could be the software version. So I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention to the software versions in the last couple months to see when that switched over from March till now. I think that'll do it for right now, guys. Look right here. I'll post a link for my T-Mobile playlist that has everything from the moment I got T-Mobile home internet till now, so you can see the progress of how it's worked for me, the speed test, and I show a couple different videos with the firmware versions and stuff like that as they've come. But I'm going to start keeping track of that. Definitely right now I started writing that down so I'll know for sure when I start having problems to see if it actually is a software version update. And if you don't mind, go to any of my videos and click on Show More here on the description and check out some of my social medias. I've got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I have a couple other links there as well for you to check out. If you'd like to swap stickers, if you have a sticker for your channel or want to send me anything at all, I do have my address here where you can send me something. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. And as always, plan, prepare, and practice. Handy out.